Do you feel like you haven't made any progress in the gym over the last 3, 6, 12 months, maybe even years? Well, today I'm going to be showing you where you may be going wrong. For anyone new around here, hi, I'm Joe, welcome to the channel. I'm a Team GB gymnast and coach, and I also help people get into the best shape of their lives. I've been there. It can be so demotivating when you feel like you're not making any progress in the gym. You feel like you're still putting in the hard work, you're putting in the hours, you're getting your sessions done, but it seems like your progress has just tapered off. It might be because it has. I see this most commonly in people who've trained or done a program for a sustained period of time, and it feels like the progress has just ran out. I'm going to be showing you my exact formula that I use with my online clients to ensure constant progress and development in your training. It goes back to a quote I've heard and I refer to quite often: nothing changes if nothing changes. Simple, but true. So here's a few things you need to consider changing if you want to make more progress in your training. Firstly, are you looking in the wrong place? Now, what do I mean? You need to make sure you are measuring your progress correctly and you are not focusing on one metric. For example, weight loss. Are you tracking your weights, reps, sets, maybe even workouts in the gym? Are you using other body metrics such as progress pictures or feeling or body measurements to track your progress? If not, you might have been looking in the wrong place since you started this whole fitness thing completely. I see this most commonly with clients who've gone through a significant fat loss or weight loss phase, and their only measure of progress for months, maybe even years, has been trying to lower that number on the scales week on week. Now, if this is you, you are setting yourself up to fail. There's so many other metrics you need to be controlling. Your weight loss is going to be dependent on so many factors. And for example, one client might initially start at a higher weight than you, and they might have more weight to lose in different forms. They may be losing more fat than you because of their body composition. So you cannot only measure your progress by your weight loss. And it happens if you're in a phase where you've gone through significant fat loss or weight loss and you've been in a calorie deficit, and then your expenditure is slowly coming to a halt to match this balance of expenditure and calories in, you are going to stop losing weight because your body needs weight. Your body needs its source of fuel, energy, to do what you need to do. 80 kilograms on somebody who trains 5 days a week, eats whole foods, is really consistent and thoughtful about their diet, eating a high protein diet, can look completely different to somebody who's 80 kilograms, never steps foot in the gym, isn't very active, doesn't pay any attention to what they're eating. They're both 80 kilograms. They both can look completely different, and you need to define what your image of actual success or progress is from the onset. Now, this is the job of a coach to help you see that. And if you can't, I suggest hiring someone or not hiring somebody. Obviously, I'll leave a link down below so you can check out what we offer. But if you don't want to do that, don't do it. Get a friend. Who is the first person to tell you you've made progress? Somebody else. You're so harsh on yourself. You are not the best measurer of your success. You need somebody else to help you do it. You've got to make sure you're tracking those other metrics and you're looking at them and you're using them. Even how you feel. Are you feeling healthier? Do you feel more confident? All of these things are dictating your progress that you've made, but you're not letting yourself celebrate that win, or you're not letting yourself see that because you're only looking at one graph, which naturally comes to a halt as you've entered a certain stage in your fitness journey. Point 2, not applying progressive overload. So common. Your body and muscles adapt to your training program over time. Now, nothing changes if nothing changes. If you're not increasing that intensity of that regime, program, workout over time, your body, muscles have no reason to change. They have no reason to adapt. They're not challenged. They're so used to it. They can perform at that level. And just like anything else, nothing will change. The most common form, which you'll have rammed down your throats by the influencers and fitness professionals, is increasing your weight or your reps in a workout. Now, there is other forms. And if your training program naturally comes to a halt or a plateau, you need to get a little bit more clever about your progressive overload. It might be it is time for a change in program. Have you been doing it for a significant number of months? Sometimes I have people join the team and they've been doing the same workout for 4 years. Now, if you want to do that, There's nothing wrong with that. And I'm not saying that you couldn't make progress on there. However, your body, your muscles, training at the same intensity for 4 years, there's no way you're going to make a significant change if you haven't seen a significant change over that 4 years. And there might be other things at play, which we'll get onto later on in the video. But you need to think, okay, maybe I need a coach, maybe I need someone else if you're not aware of those other methods of progressive overload. But obviously, I'm going to tell you some. It might be time for a change in training program or style. It might be time to start playing on exercise selection and where certain workouts, exercise happen in your week or in your workout each day, where you put the exercise in accordance to, okay, where you can push up the intensity, what percentage you push up the weights, reps, sets, each session, what tempo are you performing, the movements, concentric, eccentric movements, all of this fancy stuff. But isometric holds, all of these things are methods we use or can use to burst through a plateau. But you just need to have an overall look at your program and be honest with yourself. And again, this is why it's so easy for somebody else to see what you're doing, because we become blind almost to what we're doing and maybe we get a bit defensive. I know I certainly do about my training. At the end of the day, progressive overload is everywhere in life, and if we don't apply it to something, we're not going to get significantly better, we're not going to get significantly more improved. And in terms of fitness or fat loss or muscle gain, your muscles are not going to get any stronger if they don't have increased resistance, obviously at a safe rate. Don't start whacking plates on your bench press everywhere, but there needs to be a reason to change. We keep going back to that. Nothing changes if nothing changes, don't we? Next point, under consuming calories. Now, this might not be you, but often I see the case that you've gone through a significant fat loss phase, you've been in a calorie deficit for so long, and now you're still pushing up the weights, you come to that natural plateau in your training, and you're scared to consume maybe a few extra calories. You're scared to put yourself into that surplus because, one, your beliefs are so used to under consuming calories for the deficit. It's understandable, especially if you're coming from that area or phase of fat loss or weight loss, but to put the body in the best position possible and to allow you to keep pushing up the weights, making progress, strength gains, muscle gains, you will need to be in a slight calorie surplus. Your nutrition is like the fuel that goes into the car. It needs to support everything, all the engine, the oil. It's part of that well-oiled machine that actually helps the car move forwards. If you're putting in the wrong fuel into your car, you're not going to get anywhere. And it's exactly the same. If you're not putting enough fuel in your car, you're not going to be able to go anywhere. Now, I promise you, if you place yourself in a slight calorie surplus, you're eating whole foods, nutritionally high valued foods, high in protein, clean food, you are not going to revert all of your progress, especially if you're training and expending those calories alongside and partaking in resistance exercise sessions weekly, couple of weeks, 3-4 a week. You're not going to revert back and lose all of that progress because you're slightly eating in a calorie surplus. Of course, you can make great progress in a calorie deficit in terms of strength gains, but it's diminishing returns. Eventually, it's going to run out. Nothing changes if nothing changes. It's the same with, we don't want to get too complex, but the same with the macronutrients and the breakdown of these whole foods. People are afraid of carbs. No carbs before marbs, all of these things. And carbohydrates are the body's main source of energy. Now, if you're restricting yourself from carbohydrates completely, you're not going to have much chance when you get in the gym if you want to make progress. If you want to push up that lift, that squat, that deadlift, that bench press, whatever, you need to fuel your body correctly. So under consuming calories is another one that I'm all the time trying to get through to my clients, members of the team, and I get it completely. I get it. And I've been victim of this myself, under consuming calories. Walking into the gym the next day, the next week, trying to push up my weights and go, why can I not get that extra 2.5% strength gain? And then when I look back at my nutrition, yeah, hitting a high protein target can be hard, but you've got to remember as well, hitting that high protein target is going to come with extra benefits in terms of obviously helping build, repair muscle for your sessions, but actually the types of food that are that high in protein to help hit that target also can be most satiating, which is essentially going to make you feel fuller for longer, which is then also going to help you with fat loss. See, it's a well-oiled machine over here, lads. And if I'm completely honest, there could be a multitude of reasons. I feel like I'm in an English GCSE exam with these vocabulary choices today, but there could be loads of reasons why you're not making progress and your fitness has plateaued. Yeah, you might not even be in the gym in the first place, but I don't know why you're watching this video. These are just what I see mostly, most often, most commonly with the clients and people I work with. If you're liking what you're hearing and you think, right, Joe, I need someone to help me with my next goals, my next phase of training, I'll leave a link down below, fill in the form, we'll get back to you within a day and you can begin your journey on the team with our support. Final point of the video, lack of recovery or overtraining. Now, again, this can be quite common, but you may be on the other end, you may not be doing enough training. When I took my training from 6 days, now we're talking resistance-based sessions here, okay? So I used to do 6 days a week, complex split up of the body movements and parts. Now, when I went from 6 days to 4 days, all I saw, once I got over that mental barrier of having 2 days extra to do cardio activity, core, splitting it up, still getting in the gym and doing something, or recovery style sessions, for example. Once I got over that, all I saw was progress. I know it's hard to believe, but I felt better. I went into those 4 sessions a week so amped up, ready to go. My body felt recovered. I had a better pump. So it might be you need to just reduce your volume of training. And again, that's why coaches are useful. That's what we do. It might be you've been doing the same thing for so long, you've been overtraining that you're so in, you can't zoom out to actually see, okay, now if I dropped a day here and I had more energy, more recovery, there was more rest in between these 2 sessions. If I was doing Monday, Thursday, Wednesday, Saturday, for example, I don't know, you may be able to attack those sessions, push the weights up, push the reps up, have a slower tempo, whatever it is. You might find that actually it takes a week and you've smashed through that plateau in terms of where you were before. Now it's not as quick as that, but something that simple as reducing training intensity in terms of how much volume you're doing might fix all your problems. Like I said, it's hard for me to know what you're doing when you get in the gym. Now, if you're going to the gym twice a week, reducing your training volume probably isn't the best thing to be doing. But if you're going 7 days a week, not seeing any progress, try it. Go to 4 days. Try it for a month. What's the worst that can happen? There's all of these amazing coaches, ex-bodybuilders and Mr. Olympias that are so profoundly caught up about the recovery process and speak so clearly about how many people need to reduce their training volume in order to actually facilitate muscle growth and development. And I mean, I've got an average physique, so if these guys are saying it, I'm going to be listening. And no, I'm not preparing, or we're not preparing for the Olympia. It's not the aim here. It's not the underlying aim. So if that's what you want to do not click the link down below, because I will not be working with you. But getting into the best shape of your life can be simple. It really can be. What you do in the gym is always the most important part. 2 sessions, I would argue, well structured, high intensity, pushing yourself, could be better, way better than 4 sessions where you're going in, faffing around with your feather duster on the dumbbells, doing a few sit-ups in the corner and walking on the treadmill. Now, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see how I go about teaching my clients to build muscle and develop their arm size and grow those stubborn arms that they cannot grow, or maybe you want your arms to become more defined, YouTube's going to put a video here, and that's going to be how I grew my arms from tiny to average. Now, to finish my coffee, thanks for watching the video, and we'll see you in the next one.